Welcome to Infinity Reviews. So yeah! Woohoo! Oh, that's a great line. That is a great line. Eve. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be talking about a movie that came out this weekend, and that movie is Argylle. Now, I had really high hopes for the movie. When going, I'm like, okay, it's got a really good cast. It's got my boy Henry Cavill in it. I love Henry Cavill. Got Sam Rockwell in there. Bryce Dallas Howard's in there. Samuel L. Jackson's in there. Bryan Cranston's in there. So many stars are in here. And ultimately, it was very disappointing. This movie had no idea what it wanted to be. And what I mean by that is, the basic premise of this film is, Bryce Dallas Howard plays this author who writes these spy novels. And, they're so good that, sometimes they predict future events. And, that's a really cool concept. That's what you think the movie is about when you watch the trailer. She writes these books, they're too real, and, there's this evil government agency going after her because they think that she can predict other events that might happen, and so they want her to write the next chapter of her book. That's what you think the movie's about. That's the first half of the movie. Then the second half turns into oh well, guess what? Everything you thought about was wrong. You find out, spoiler alert, that Bryce Dallas Howard is Argylle. And it's oh wow, I didn't see that coming a million miles away. And it was so predictable. So predictable. And then you think, then it turns into okay, now we go get this secret file from this random person in the Mojave Desert. Change our clothes because that's gonna help us blend in. And go get this secret file drive from Sofia Boutella. And then, oh, guess what? She wasn't a good guy. She was actually a bad guy. But then she's a good guy again. I'm like, why are they putting all these twists in this movie? Why does there need to be so many twists in this movie? And I guess the theme of the movie is the bigger the spy, the bigger the lie. But this could have been so much better. And I'm a big fan of Matthew Vaughn. I think Matthew Vaughn is one of the really cool directors today. He and Guy Ritchie have a very similar style sometimes. And I love First Class. It's one of my favorite X-Men movies. I love the Kingsman movies. I think they're so fun. Taron Egerton in that is awesome, and I feel he tried to do. I felt this should have been a Kingsman movie. I'm this movie made no sense. At times, there's so many things going on where it's kind of skipped over, and then the writing at times. I get it. Matthew Vaughn. He is for Kingsman. The cheesy stuff in there when it was cheesy, it worked. But the writing, I hated the writing, guys, in this movie. It was so cheesy. They tried to make it sometimes funny. There were some funny parts. There were some funny parts in it. Every time I love seeing Sam Rockwell in this. Sam Rockwell, I always laugh. He's a very funny actor. And the cat, I like the stuff with the cat. But that was one of the only funny parts. When they're trying to joke and stuff. Ugh, it's just bad, guys. It's not a good movie. Not a good movie. But yeah, let's now dive into the performances of the film. We're gonna start first with Bryce Dallas Howard as the main protagonist of the movie. Now, I was really excited to see Bryce Dallas Howard in this movie because I feel she is an actress who should be getting more work. I really like her in the Jurassic Park movies. I think she's also a terrific director. And, I haven't really seen her in a whole lot. And I think that's really surprising. So I was really excited for Argylle. And I would say she was okay for the movie. Okay for the movie. I didn't absolutely love the character. The one thing I did not like about it was what they did with her, like towards the end. It's like you couldn't tell, like, if she, because like it's very, like, in the middle you learn that, like, oh, she lost her memories, and then she was tricked by the bad agency, that she had this whole different life. And you never tell, like, is she back to the original version of herself, or is she still that same version of herself? Which, what I mean by that is, like, her memories, like, start to come back, and like she starts to act more like when she did when she was this big badass spy, kind of like Argyle. But like you never know, and like it's like, okay, like, is she back to how she was before, or is she still Elly Conway, the author of the books? And that's what confused me about it. But and like of course she was in like most of those Matthew Vaughn beautiful fight scenes, that we kind of get a taste of it in the trailer. But overall it was an okay performance. I enjoyed seeing her in this movie, and I think she did a pretty good job. What you had to work with. Okay, next character we're going to go up to. We're going to be talking about Sam Rockwell's character. I actually really loved him in this movie. I think of all the things that are wrong and like bad with this movie, he was one of the bright spots for me because I'm a big Sam Rockwell fan. Not just because he's in the Iron Man movies. I love Galaxy Quest. If you guys don't know what that movie is, it's such a good movie. It's got a Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver's in it. Alan Rickman's in there. And Sam Rockwell, and like Sam Rockwell can pull off comedy so well. And like in this, I was always laughing at the parts, where like a Bryce Dallas Howard's character would always look at him and see Henry Cavill's Argyle, and then we turn around, he's like not as cool, not as like big and strong as him, and it was really funny. And all the stuff with the cat with him, how he's allergic to cats. I found that very funny because I am also allergic to cats, and I am not a cat person. So that was very, very funny for me. And the action he did. I liked his character. If I was an interesting character, you know, uh, but yeah, and like in the action scenes, he was pretty cool in the action scenes. He's like jumping through hardwood floors. Like there's a part. It's just really good action. And, he has some really funny moments. In the film. I'm not gonna say what they are right now because I don't want to go too much into spoilers. But I thought he was an entertaining character. All right, let's go on to the next of the like real characters in the movie, and that is Bryan Cranston's like character, and like he's playing your typical bad guy in this. He is like the director of this agency that wants to do terrible things to the world, and yeah, that's his character. That's all he really does, and like it felt very weird because it felt like he was going way over the top for this movie. He's like like those villains, like in those old like spy movies. He's like, "Hello there, nice to see you again." Like that creepy villain who has a cat on it. He's got a shotgun in his office that he uses to shoot some guy. And like he's very over the top. And at the beginning I was like, okay, but at the end I just found it annoying. And I love Bryan Cranston. I think he's one of the great actors of our time. He's so good in everything he does. But I just didn't enjoy the villain. He was not. It was just not what I expect to see Bryan Cranston do, and I don't really enjoy seeing him this way. And that's not really much to talk about. Like he just does things in this movie. I'm like, what? Okay, what? Like really? But, it was an okay performance. Okay performance. Okay, let's jump into the next character I'm going to talk about. And that is Samuel Jackson's character. Alfie. His name's Alfie. Uh, I don't know what the heck Samuel Jackson was doing in this movie. Like, just like Bryan Cranston, everything he was doing was over the top. He was like, I was like, what is he doing? He's like, oh yeah, ha ha ha, and like, just I'm like, why is Samuel Jackson here? Like, why does he need to be here? He's over the top with everything he's doing. Like, like when they're trying to send him this file about, I don't even know what the heck they need this file for. Like, I'm watching a movie, like, and at the end I'm like, okay, why do they need this file? Sending him the file, he's like, come on, wah! He's like yelling at Tom. I'm like, Samuel L. Jackson, you're one of the best actors of our time. What the heck is this performance? What the heck is this performance? I did not like it. I did not like it at all. And like, he's just like, cause like the plot goes to like where it's like, oh, we're trying to track down this author, to like, oh, we're trying to find Samuel L. Jackson's character, like near the end of this movie, and I'm like, why are we searching for Samuel L. Jackson? You know, why is he so important? Like, he's a retired CI director. Why does Bryan Cranston's character want to find him? It just makes no sense to me, guys. It makes no sense. This movie does have no idea what it wants to be. Alright, now we're going to move into, like, another character who's kind of like a fictional character in the book, but also real, and that's Ariana DeBose's character. Now, she is not in the movie a lot. You know, she's in the beginning and the end. And, like, it's very much described like she's like the hacker of the group. And, like, you know, you get a taste of her at the beginning. She gets, like, spoiler, she gets shot in the chest. Everyone thinks she dies. And, like, they keep talking like, oh, we're going to bring his character back in the book. I'm like, that's what Bryce Dallas Howard character was saying. And then we go to the part at near the end. It's like, oh, no, Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell, they're about to lose. But no, here comes Ariana DeBose's character to smack the villain in the head and save the day. I'm like, it was the most predictable thing I've seen in a movie in a long time. It's like, and then she's like, I guess you guys missed me, right? I'm like, why? Why? And also, like, so predictable, so predictable. I'm like, why? Why is this happening? Why is this in this movie? But yeah, that's basically, like, all we can say about her character. Alright, let's move on to the other, like, the fictional characters who are, like, kind of in the book. Let's go Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill's character, Argylle. Just gonna say, worst haircut I've ever seen on a character before. It is literally the worst haircut I've ever seen Henry Cavill, like, have. And, you know, he's being Henry Cavill, you know, just being that really attractive, big spy agent, you know. He's trying to be, I think, his best James Bond, which I don't know why. And, like, I enjoyed Henry Cavill in the movie. I'm not going to lie. I liked Henry Cavill. He was another good spot for me, but they make such weird choices, you know, with this movie. And, you know, they have, like, Henry Cavill being, like, a perception of her. And it's like, okay, like, in the beginning, like, Bryce Dallas Howard was seeing Argylle, Henry Cavill's character, as Sam Rockwell's character, as a spy. Then she keeps seeing him in the mirror and saying, like, oh, like, maybe she's Argylle. And, you know, it's like, okay, like, I just don't get it, guys. I don't get the decision of this movie to do that. She's like, oh, it's a coping mechanism, it's anxiety. I'm like, why do we need to know that? Why do we need to know that? And also, like, I feel really bad for Henry Cavill, man. Guy is a really talented actor. He is a talented actor. He's a lot of people's favorite actors. He was robbed with Superman, and I'm like, okay, after Superman, let's see what he does. He did The Witcher, which was just an okay series. It's okay. Not really critically acclaimed, but okay. And then, like, this was his, like, I feel like this was one of his first major movies after the whole Superman stuff was over. And, like, the movie didn't deliver. And, you know, you have a couple bad movies, and then you start to be like, okay, if this guy is in bad movies, we won't cast him anymore. I don't want that for Henry. You know, Henry Cavill is a terrific actor. I'm really excited for the next Guy Ritchie movie he's going to be in. I think that looks amazing, and the cast looks amazing, and I'm hoping that will change the turn for him. But overall, I not like it in this movie. Let's go on to the final character we're going to talk about, and that is John Cena's character, which is the most unforgettable character I can ever think of in a film. He's like, I guess he's like, in the books, you know, John Cena's character is like Sam Rockwell in this movie. You know, he's kind of the tech support / muscle. And, like, I get like he needs to be in there for the book, like the book version of Sam Rockwell. But like they try to put him in so many other scenes in the movie, and I'm like, it's just John Cena doing nothing in the movie. He has nothing to do except hack computers, and he's barely in the movie. I honestly think it was just a paycheck for John Cena. John Cena, also one of my favorite actors. Uh, he, John Cena is a very smart guy. And I think maybe he just wanted a paycheck for this movie. Maybe because like he talked about like how he's fluent in Mandarin and stuff. Like I was listening to some interviews the other day, and just nothing to do in the movie, nothing to do. So let's go into the final thoughts about the film. Overall, I think it's disappointing. It's a very disappointing film. I think the first week it's going to do well at the box office. My theater's pretty packed a little bit. And I think it's going to make around 25 to 30 million opening weekend. And then after that, it's going to plummet. This movie's going to plummet hard, guys. If this movie makes 150 million, I will be surprised if it makes that worldwide. But, Matthew Vaughn, I think he needs to go back to some of his other work. I think he needs to go back. Because, like, I look at films like First Class and The First Kingsman, I'm like, those are your pillars. Those are the movies that you were great in. The movies you did awesome. This is not. This was just a movie filled with twists after twist after twist, and action. And the CGI at times it was very noticeable that it was not real, and it feels like this movie was not ready. I feel like if this movie maybe had a bit more reshoots, it would have been a bit better. But overall, I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 because there were moments I liked, but mostly I did not enjoy this movie. So I would say, I would not go see this for $20, because the movies are expensive. If you want to go check out this movie, I highly recommend, you go see it maybe like an afternoon showing because there's going to be cheaper ticket prices. But overall, if you're expecting a great movie, don't go in. It's not like a Bond movie. It's not like a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie. It's just a movie with so many twists, so many plots, so many things going on, that it's hard to even get at the end what the movie is really about. Well, thank you guys so much for watching my review for the new Matthew Vaughn movie Argylle. Please make sure you like and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time.